As day turns to night here in Fairfield, Throwback Weekend continues in Connecticut with the Carolina Chaos and the Maryland Whipsnakes. Check out those throwback jerseys, they look sharp. Hi everybody, Ryan Boyle, Paul Carcaterra, Jay Alter with you. This should be a really fun matchup. Chaos, they're just happy to play again, Ryan. We have not seen them since June 29th. That is a long layoff.
And when we do watch them, their defense is fine. They're led by Blaze Reardon in Cates. It's their offense. What is their offensive identity? They're having a crisis. Are we American? Are we Canadian? The one constant that you have is Josh Byrne.
Yes,
He's fantastic. He leads the team in points, 6 goals and 9 assists. For my money, he's one of the most entertaining players in the league. Seemingly every time he steps on the lacrosse field, you've got an acrobatic, highlight-worthy play. Can they lean on him more? Can they get more juice? Can they get him more touches? They've got to have an outstanding performance for him, not only tonight, but I really think he needs to carry this offense the rest of the season.
This is a Chaos team that started the season 2-0. Josh Byrne and the Chaos have now lost 3 straight. Let's take a look at their starting lineups, powered by Ticketmaster.
Yeah, Jared Newman comes fresh off winning his fastest shot contest, and Jack Rowlett, arguably the best one-on-one cover guy. The midfield need more juice from this unit. Brian Minikis, he can win his one-on-one matchups. Knobloch, the sharpshooter out of Rutgers. On the attack, we talked about Josh Byrne. Ross Scott, he's the little water bug. He's so quick, he's so electric. Henningberg, two-handed, dynamic player.
So flipping to the Whipsnakes, this is a Maryland team that is without Matt Rambo tonight, ruled out. Where does their offense come from tonight, Paul?
I think TJ Malone is a centerpiece of this offense. Only one rookie has more points in the PLL than TJ Malone. That's Connor Schellenberger for the New York Atlas. He's a true quarterback, too. I've seen over the course of the first part of the season him feeding the ball. He's dodging extremely well. He is driving this offense, and I think he's getting command. And then you couple him with Zed Williams, who had 4 goals and 1 assist against the Utah Archers. He had 13 shots in that game. So I think the more that TJ Malone starts to percolate, the more that opens up the right wing for Zed Williams, and he can go heavy volume shooting on you.
So Zed Williams and TJ Malone, they're gonna have to carry the load tonight with Rambo out. Let's check in down with Dana.
TJ, you lead your team in points. Where does that confidence come from as a rookie?
That's a great question. Just playing the game that I love. You know, I've been so blessed just to be out there with my teammates and playing against one of my teammates from college, Jack Posey, tonight. So hopefully just keep playing well and yeah.
Speaking of Posey, you talk any smack before the game or all business?
No, all business, all business. Yeah, this is one of my best friends, so we're blessed by God just to be out here. So yeah.
Tucker Dordovic returns in a Maryland uniform. What's it like sharing the field with him in practice leading up to this weekend?
Oh yeah, he's amazing. He adds such a different dynamic to our team, and excited to see what he's got out here today. We've been missing him a lot.
Appreciate you. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Take a look at the Whip starting lineups powered by Ticketmaster.
I think Ajax Zapatello, who was their first pick at number 3 overall, is really starting to feel comfortable in this Maryland defense. Mike Chanichuk is one of the best 2-point shooters in pro lacrosse history. Adam Patras was exceptional a couple of weeks ago and continues to flourish as a rookie as well. Keegan Kahn will fill in for Matt Rambo. Kahn is a chameleon-type player who I think can find seams mostly inside as long as Zed Williams is occupying the right side, and TJ Malone continues to cook as a quarterback player.
Akin to Hannah, Clark, by him being back in the lineup, now there's a trickle-down effect from a matchup perspective. So now Chanichuk, he's going to have a short stick.
Underway between Chaos and Whips, and it's Maryland that starts with the ball. Like these yellow throwback jerseys.
Yeah, they're sweet.
The Whips are playing. And then there's State written across the Carolina Chaos. That's a throwback to the NC State Wolfpack, who had Division I lacrosse from 1973 to 1982. And the Whips open the scoring. Didn't take long. Right off the opening face-off win.
Welcome back.
Guess who?
Welcome back, Tucker Dordovic.
Yes, didn't I say he could beat you down the alley, left-handed or right-handed?
He's just so explosive. And here they catch him coming out of the box. So full head of speed, full head of steam, excuse me. Shot out of a cannon. He's got the short stick matchup. He's just too explosive for McKay to keep up with him.
And you look at his plant foot, he's got one of the most aggressive plant foots in all of lacrosse, and that allows him to get separation on these jab step type moves. And if you see him do it righty, you'll see him do it lefty. He's a player that's practiced his craft as much as anyone. I've known him since his early stages of his career at Syracuse. He's a relentless worker when it comes to his shooting and his footwork.
Now, the reigning Rookie of the Year in his season debut scores in 30 seconds. How about that setting the tone for Maryland? And it could be make it, take it tonight. When you got Nardella at the faceoff X, he's had an incredible year, 70%.
Williams might have got away with a ward.
Reardon got a foot to it, scramble in front of the net. Zed Williams trying to dig it out. And finally, Carolina has it.
Jack Rowlett took a
swing?
2x4 to somebody.
You do not want to be on the receiving end of that. Here's Josh Byrne, 22 in white. Now Kyle Jackson. Ryan, you wanted to see more from this midfield unit tonight.
Good
Stone
pressure.
away. Knobloch lost it. And now the Whips could get something in transition. Stopped by Reardon.
Yeah, the Whips have been running more this season than we're accustomed to.
You like the wheels by Zappatello. He's gassed right now, going end to end and having to play defense.
Byrne off the helmet. Deflects back to Kyle Jackson.
Yeah, good eat there by Dunn.
Here's Brian Minikis, the Connecticut native who scored 5 points on this field a year ago, a career high.
He's going to play midfield, but they're going to use him behind the cage. He'll be one of the first guys coming out of the box and then inverting, being like another quarterback behind the cage.
Oh!
Hits the pipe and rings in. A flamethrower to tie it at 1.
That was Ross Scott, the rookie out of Rutgers. I talked to him pregame. He is so pumped. Excuse me, that was...
Yeah, Scott, you're right.
Yeah, that was Ross Scott. With these throwbacks, I couldn't tell right away. Ross Scott is a rookie out of Rutgers with tremendous torque there, but I talked to him before the game. He is so ecstatic to be part of this team, to be part of pro lacrosse. He's a young man. He was under-recruited out of high school. Brian Breck got him late in the process at Rutgers. He's from Oregon, played in the same high school circuit as Ajax Zappatello, who's playing defense for the Maryland Whips. I think Scott's presence is huge in this game.
We've got 3 Oregon natives playing in this game, along with those 2 with Dordovic.
Tried to find the trailer there.
And Colin Squires. 4.
Chaos with numbers. They can't cash in. Great save. Brendan Krebs, the pride of Manhattan College, makes a stop there. 6 minutes gone by in this opening quarter, a goal apiece. Reardon read it well. He's got 3 saves early.
You got to have better shot selection against Reardon.
I agree, and I think part of the bye and the time off with the All-Star game, 3 weeks for Carolina, is getting Blaze Reardon super healthy as he missed a couple games.
Byrne tried to squeeze it around, didn't get the angle. Maryland again in transition. They've been pushing it tonight. Oh! Big time deflection there, putting the body on the line. Both of these teams running and gunning. That time going a little too quickly.
Under the lights, this game's got some pace to it, baby.
It does. Dordovic tried to feed it back, turns it over.
And that's not something coming into this game, just knowing stylistically these teams historically, you would think.
I think it's critical for Carolina. We mentioned their midfield play to get these guys really active. I mean, Shane Knobloch, their rookie, their first pick at number 4, he's shooting 14% on the season. Like, he needs to start producing to take some pressure off of Josh Byrne and those young attackmen like Ross Scott.
Maia draws the double team. Byrne put it on the doorstep. Crease violation.
I'm surprised that wasn't a push call, but back to your point about Knobloch, I think the tough part is you get drafted as a rookie, he's getting the pole matchup. Like he looks around and is like, wait, I'm still getting the pole?
Yeah, that's why I would put Knobloch and Dobson on a line together too, to hopefully take some pressure off of Knobloch if they put the pole on Dobson. And if they don't put the pole on Dobson, that guy will feast.
Peacock finds Malone, steps into it, and Reardon meets it again. 4 saves for Blaze Reardon.
And the reason you got to be smart in your shot selection is clean saves by Blaze Reardon equal transition for this Chaos team.
No rebounds, and the low and aways almost look too easy, right? Like he is gobbling those up. Most goalies fight like heck to get there, and there's a rebound. He's clean saving them.
Byrne decides to backpedal. A Chaos team that is playing for the first time since June 29th. They've lost 3 in a row.
Oh, that's a beautiful feed by Knobloch, and Maia has got to can that. He has to can that. And I don't like how he just shot that completely underhand. That's the zone in the cage where you just shoot from here and bury it.
Shot clock down to 8. Here's Ross Scott. Trying to squeeze it past Krebs, couldn't do it. Not a great angle there. And a triple team comes in, stolen away by Dunn. After pushing in transition, Maryland settling things down, getting the right offensive personnel out there for the Whips.
Get the ball to Dordovic. He's got a short stick on him.
Zed Williams spins his way in. Reardon to the rescue.
This is a physical game. Chaos are not messing around defensively here.
Now these are 2 teams that have met each other in big games year after year. The Whips lead the series 9-2. They've won 4 in a row, but in the early goings of this league, it was always Whips, Chaos.
Playing in big games, in big moments, playoff games.
Meeting under the lights here in Connecticut, both 2 and 3. Desperate to get something going. Jules Henningberg fires the Chaos in front.
You watch his feet. They are elite. At first he catches that ball. I think he gives up on his dodge. But then he uses the fancy footwork to extend his left hand and hammer this shot. Jules is huge for the Chaos to get back in the win category.
So with Matt Rambo ruled out for tonight's game, the Whipsnakes might need to rely on their rookies who have been pretty good for them this season.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. And you think about just where they got them in terms of value. TJ Malone, 3rd-round draft pick. Levi Anderson got drafted by the Redwoods.
And then a quick trade.
And they traded, the Whipsnakes traded for him.
Patras wasn't even drafted. I mean, when you think about this draft as a whole, it was top-heavy with so many great players, right? You had the Kavanaughs, the O'Neills, the Schellenbergers, but the back half of the draft has produced incredibly well. Tyler Carpenter, a long stick midi for the New York Atlas. TJ Malone, I think he was the steal of the draft. Patras was actually drafted late. I think he was their 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Shot clock down to 3. Maryland has to hurry. Chan and Chuck on the run. Easy save for Reardon.
Not to mention all the Outlaws guys that we're seeing producing as rookies, right?
Earlier tonight, they win a game. 13 of their 15 scores were rookies.
It's the deepest class. We always said it was the best because of the headline guys, but it's also the deepest draft ever. We could rephrase the slogan, deepest draft, to deepest, greatest draft.
Well, they have produced an immediate impact from this rookie class. As Carolina goes on the power play here.
Early, you can't. Listen, I'm not. I watched you do it on film 4 times.
You're not winning that.
Yeah. Whipsnake foul, number 39, 30-second technical. Too many men on the field.
How about Matty Palin watching film?
Yeah.
Picking up some tendencies.
That's what makes him the best.
I've seen you do it 4 times.
So here's a question as we give all this love to the rookies, right? Ryan, how do you blend a great rookie draft class with, these are 2 veteran teams that are starting to turn over their roster?
I mean, if you can play, you can play.
Yeah.
There's holes on both of these rosters
Yes.
that need to be adjusted, right, and filled.
I mean, you look at the Whipsnakes specifically as Dobson uncorks one. They traded Bryce Young in the offseason. So they had a clear hole at close defense that they needed to fill.
And they did with Ajax, who's
Bingo.
been great the last few weeks. But they also needed a punch offensively.
They needed a punch offensively.
You know, as good as Rambo is, he occupies that left side. I think TJ Malone gives you like a true quarterback.
Yeah,
and he's
absolutely.
a quarterback from all sorts of angles on the case, not just at X.
The Dordovic got the party started, but now the Whips 9 minutes scoreless here after Dordovic scored in the opening 24 seconds. Here's TJ Malone curling around, bounces it wide.
Just watch all the different places on the offensive set he dodges from tonight. We just saw one at X. I'm going to kind of document them. He'll be from all over the field.
On the run, Reardon there again. And with that save, he passes Kip Turner for 10th all-time, 962 career saves. So let's go under the helmet, powered by Cash App and listed to Whips defender Matt Dunn.
Talk to me. Timmy. Get ready to roll, Roman. Get ready to roll. Get ready to roll. I'm here. Me.
Good defensive possession there.
Yep.
As Dunn calling out the defense.
You know, we talked about Ajax Zapatello. How about going into a perfect spot, though, with Tim Muller and Matt Dunn, both Maryland Terp alums. He's a Maryland Terrapin himself. Ajax, the rookie.
Oh! Zed Williams with some serious firepower. Blows it by Reardon. 98 miles an hour to tie it at 2.
Williams' ability to get his hand free in close confines, shoot with contact. He just doesn't need a lot of airspace. He's so big, he's so physical. Right? He uses that pick by Jacoboyce. You've got to step out there. You've got to step out and get out on his hands. Rowlett gets caught, he a little slipped, he gets caught in the wash. Knobloch, they trap the offensive midfielder. Knobloch has got to know, go out and pressure Williams.
And the best thing in that move that showed me how good of a shooter he is, a lot of shooters have to plant their feet and move upfield. He's shooting from away from the cage, almost backpedaling. Just shows you how strong he is, his upper body strength, his torque, his technique. That is elite shooting. Guys are bouncing off this dude. Watch it, they're just bouncing off of him. It's like a video game.
Jan Chuck lets it rip from 2. Reardon goes low to stop it. Chaos pushing in transition. Great passing, everything but the finish. Scott snuffed on the doorstep by Krebs.
We saw a quick stick in the first game by Matt Brandow. It didn't go well. Ross Scott needs to catch and locate the cage there.
Byrne, not a great angle. Krebs out of his cage. Byrne stays down. Slow to get up, play goes on. Maryland has numbers here. Bernhardt pushing it. He whizzes that wide from 2. 101 miles per hour, but off cage. And Byrne took a big hit there. Still trying to shake it off.
Broken stick down there, too.
10 seconds left of the quarter. Been a very entertaining, high-tempo quarter. Dordovic.
Every time he's on the field with a short stick, he should get the ball.
Why? That's twice tonight that he's had a shorty. That's a nightmare waiting to happen for Chaos. This quarter comes to a close. Tied at 2. Blaze Reardon, 9 saves in that opening quarter.
And normally when you see a low-scoring game like this, you're like, what's wrong with the offense? This is a defensive battle. Slugfest.
Buckle up.
If you like physicality, this is the game for you. Take a look at these hits in the first quarter. Oh, ouch! McKay throwing a punch at Krebs there. Start of the second quarter here at Fairfield, Connecticut, tied at 2 between Carolina and Maryland. And we're talking a lot about the physicality of this matchup. We showed you this going to break. Ian McKay clearly rear backs and fires a punch on Brendan Krebs.
I don't know how that didn't get called. Obviously, in game, you know what I think would happen?
I think it's going to get called.
Yeah.
Well, they took a long look at this in the break. What would you give this?
Probably 2 minutes.
During the break, review of the final sequence. Penalty on Chaos, number 55. 2 minutes, unsportsmanlike conduct, full-time serve.
Good job,
There will
Carc.
be a face-off.
Because it was egregious. It wasn't just a scuffle and a fist kind of thrown. I mean, he went out of his way to throw a haymaker. It's the right call.
Yeah. So this is a huge face-off.
Well, you have Nardella, too.
You have Nardella.
Who's
right?
tops in the league, and right now he's 5 wins to
I don't know,
Carolina's
why
0.
do you have Squires on the wing then? What are you doing?
Hedge, right?
What are you doing? Just put your power play unit out
He
there.
got the ground ball.
No,
It just wastes time. I got it.
And you have 3 D-back. Why not, if you're going to put Squires in the wing, have your offensive guy in the arc so you can get out
ready
quicker.
to go, and you can sub through that way.
Because now your shot clock's already down to 18 as your offensive power play personnel's on the field. That's a deep 1.
Or use your first use it or lose it timeout as soon as you get the win.
Yeah, like if you think Squires is your ace in the hole, then you have the substitution and have the shorty on the other side running out, right? Over the line. Over the midline.
Yes.
Yes.
It's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Mismanaged in the first 30 seconds of the power play. And Carolina will be in no hurry here.
To Ryan's point,
down.
if Squires gets that ground ball, if you have a extra man power play guy on the defensive end ready to run over, he could run over right away. They waste another 10 seconds on that substitution.
And there's no real risk if you have a power play guy back, because if you lose it, he's just the free double team, so he doesn't have to cover anybody.
And it was an unreleasable, because if you score, then you have Nardella again.
So either commit to winning it and calling it time out right away, or having offensive personnel go out there, you start out there, or start at the defensive end to maximize it. Oh my word.
No block, rear back and fire. Man down goal. The rookie from Rutgers showing why he was a first-round pick.
This is worst case scenario if you're a Whips fan. And really inexcusable. There's the double team. Puglisi goes kind of half-heartedly. Yeah, I mean, if you're Krebs, you got to make this save. That's kind of as simple as it gets.
Yeah, he's off the pipe a little bit.
You got to make this save.
If he's on the pipe here, he gets beat near pipe. He's a lefty. It goes to his off stick. I mean, he gets that through with no margin for error. But the biggest piece of this all is Knobloch now gets some confidence shooting, because he's been in a bit of a slump.
Yeah, I wasn't
he was 0 for 4 shooting last week.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to take anything away from Knobloch there.
Absolutely.
Just like,
but he was 0 for 4 last week, or last time out in Minneapolis when they lost to Philly. 14% on the year is your first pick. You want to get him going.
Call timeout. Call timeout.
Doing it again.
Call timeout.
Same mistake twice. So what was a 2-minute power play for Maryland, where you'd think that's a huge advantage.
From the ground ball to them getting into their set was 8 seconds.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Jan and Chuck to the doorstep, and another shot clock violation.
You wouldn't want 8 more seconds?
You'd have a goal.
And now Chaos can just run out this power play.
A disastrous 2-minute power play, which actually results in the Chaos getting a man-down goal and taking the lead.
Just complete lack of execution of that situation.
Yeah, it does matter. You don't know what you're talking about.
Towers and Matt Palem, the head referee, going at it over on the sideline.
Stop talking to the fucking ref.
Towers telling his team that he'll handle the chatter as Eric Dobson blows it by Krebs. Carolina back-to-back goals. That one had serious heat from the rookie from Notre Dame.
He's one of the most dangerous shooters to come into the league. We saw Graham Bundy Jr. for the Outlaws. Eric Dobson at Notre Dame for 4 years has a shot that can scream from the outside. He just pounds this corner. I mean, this is a beautiful rip. And I love how Jules Henningberg starts that dodge and brings the defense down, and then the rotation's too late. You can't let him set his feet.
I think there's 2 goals where the Whipsnakes have created offense. That slide right there, I don't know if you necessarily needed it. And earlier on Ross Scott's goals, that Botello kind of hedged, and Jackson just pushed it forward. I think those are 2 scenarios where you're just creating offense.
You're spot on, because Jules wasn't dodging to go to the goal. He was dodging to drift and bring the D with him. Kind of tooled on him there a little bit in the head game space.
Great defense by Jack Posey, the rookie from Penn State, 43 in white, making his 2nd appearance on the season. Whips only have 7 seconds, back-to-back possessions with a shot clock violation. And this is another empty possession. 3 in a row. Maryland, the turning point in this game could be the fact that they went on a 2-minute power play that they mismanaged. Now 3 straight possessions, Ryan, where they have just been totally behind the clock.
You know, the interesting thing, too, is we talked about midfield play for the Chaos and stepping up. Their last 2 goals from the midfield, 2 rookies.
Maia shakes free, saved by Krebs right into the chest. The physicality continues.
That was Notre Dame on Notre Dame. Jacobois delivered the hit on Dobson.
Take another look at this hit.
Yeah, Dobson's 6'5", 235 too. It's not 5'10", 180.
Krebs kind of gave him a little bit of a hip check there before Jacobois came in, reminding him of the upperclassmen from their days together.
The Whips just trying to find their flow offensively after they squandered that 2-minute power play. Malone, little behind him.
They're just jamming everything in the crease instead of just moving the ball forward.
Dordovic off the mark. 2 seconds left to shoot. And what could be a 4th straight shot clock violation, and it is. 4 straight possessions where you can't beat the timer.
You know what I'd like to see also is if you put Dordovic and Chanachuk on the field together. I mean, Dordovic could use that dodging left or right, and he'll have that throwback potentially to Chanachuk too. I think Chanachuk with Dordovic can have a lot more 2-point opportunities.
Here's Hanningberg, 1 goal to his name tonight. Chaos have been in command of this 2nd quarter. Curling around, putting it in the top corner. Jules Hanningberg. You know, Kark, he's our colleague during the college lacrosse season, calling some games at the booth. He's showing that he's still got some skills down on the field, RB.
He's so dynamic. He's just so explosive, ambidextrous. We saw him with the left hand earlier. Today, now, a little hesitation move at X. He puts on the afterburners and buries it with his right. Chaos got some momentum here.
Midway through the second quarter, the Carolina Chaos in control, 5-2 against the Maryland Whipsnakes, and you never know who's going to be here checking out a PLL game. Chris Kreider here in Connecticut. What a season he had. Took the Rangers to the Eastern Conference Final. A terrific season. And he's standing by with Dana Boyle.
Jay, Chris, you've been on the sidelines here watching the game. How do you address the physicality you're seeing out here?
I mean, I love it. There's obviously a lot of animosity between these two teams, but it's making for a super competitive game and a really fun atmosphere.
How does it fare when you're on the ice? You think lacrosse or hockey more physical and aggressive?
I think it's pretty comparable, especially watching this game. I mean, yeah, this is an incredibly physical lacrosse game, and yeah, it heightens the level. I mean, everyone's really dialed in, and like I said, everyone's having a lot of fun watching.
With your experience as a New York Ranger, what are the parallels between hockey and lacrosse?
Yeah, obviously the physical aspect, but I think that the body awareness, having someone lean on you, trying to create time and space for yourself and for your teammates.
I know you have experience playing high school lacrosse. What was your position?
You know, every year I tried out for attack, and every year they moved me to midfield. I thought I could spend all spring just standing around trying to score goals, but they made me run.
Not a bad thing to play on both sides of the ball. I know you have a lot of experience with the Connecticut Storm. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah, that's, I think, one of my favorite things that I've had the opportunity to do over the course of my pro career. I just think being able to give back to the community, you know, put a smile on someone's face. Yeah, it's super fulfilling, really cool, purposeful work.
Yeah, giving back to the next generation. I did hear a story that when you scored a hat trick in the third period of Game 6, some people threw some hats on your lawn. Did you keep the hats?
We donated them, but it was a really sweet sentiment. We live in a really nice community, so very appreciative of all the support from all our neighbors and all our friends.
Last question for you. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have a favorite PLL team?
Well, I grew up in the Boston area, so I like the Cannons, but you know, New York got a team now, so I'm an Atlas fan.
I'm a former Wahoo, so I also do. Off the record, thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you.
That was a great moment there for Chris Kreider, ex-lacrosse player, huge PLL fan. He mentioned the Connecticut Storm. My son Grayson, who's 16, who's autistic, plays for the Connecticut Storm. It's a group of hockey players, special needs individuals, and Chris Kreider shows up to some of the practices and he skates with the guys and he does amazing work.
It's amazing.
And Grayson, if Grayson knew Chris Kreider was here, he left after Game 1. He would have raced and tackled him.
I would have loved to see that. He fit in with the physicality
Yes.
we've seen.
No over and back there because it got hit off the pipe, and Coach Towers is going to use his use it or lose it timeout to maximize this possession with 47 left on the shot clock.
Now, very risky move by Dana, bringing up the hat trick that he scored in the playoffs, because that was against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
We might have some Chaos Hurricane fans overlap, and after he scored those 3 goals against the Canes in Game 6, you gotta love Rangers fans. He returns home and there's a bunch of hats on the lawn. The natural hat trick in the third period of that game. Awesome to get some insight from Chris.
You know, he mentioned also,
Value, make sure we're taking
we're
good
listening to
shots.
this
You guys
first.
got it? Great fucking job. Keep it up. Here we go. Last on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah.
You wonder why they moved into midfield, right? He started at attack every season,
Great
then he moved to
move,
midfield.
Robert.
Athlete
Great
like
move,
that in the
Robert.
middle of the field, tough. Probably got every ground ball.
You could definitely tell in some of the ground ball battles, like who's a hockey player, who's not, you know?
Yeah. Well, they use their hips, right, and their backside, and then they kind of just
Flicking it out into
flick it
open
out,
space.
That's a Blaze ritual. See him tapping the pipes.
He has been so good tonight.
This is patenting Blaze Reardon, right? You see all those moves.
10 saves, only 2 goals allowed. Pretty good.
We need someone. We need someone.
Chaos, a 3-goal lead coming out of the timeout. Here's Eric Dobson, 1 goal to his name. Back-to-back national champion, now a rookie in the PLL.
Great pass, too, and Dobson's a strong left-handed player, so they're going to flush him to the right, but if he shows you the ability to pass the ball righty like that.
Which we saw in his senior year.
Innick so much speed, decided not to pull the trigger there. And now Dobson He has not been afraid to initiate tonight. Ross Scott with 10 seconds to shoot. Through traffic, yeah, easy call. Hanningberg draws the hold.
More chippiness afterwards, too.
Whipsnakes penalty number 83, 30-second technical. Hold.
Jules just kind of gets lost off ball. Hanningberg gets in the rock, and as he goes to the cage, yeah, clear hold there, taking him down. But Whipsnakes didn't match up there well after the ground ball. Hanningberg just had a ton of airspace. Thought he might take the outside shot before realizing, wait a second, I can just drive right to the net here.
His feet have been really impressive tonight. We've seen a couple things that he's done, just like subtle little moves with his footwork. His goal with a low shooting angle, but also some of his passes when he passed to Knobloch for the score. Really impressed with his footwork.
A free agent coming over from the Redwoods talked to him this week, and he said with this long layoff, you can really look at strengths and weaknesses of your game. He said he self-scouted, wants to be a lot more aggressive. Maryland got the timeout before they stormed out of bounds. So the Whips can kill the final 7 seconds of the power play. And then they'll be able to go on to the attack with 51 seconds on the shot clock. So that's a very good timeout by the Whips. We're just talking about the Connecticut Storm, all the great work that Chris Kreider does with this group.
There's the guy. There's
son
Grayson. Grayson was trying to break into the broadcast booth in game one. He's back home now, probably sleeping. But Chris Kreider, that's from a couple years ago. Grayson's probably almost as big as him now, but there's Chris, and so thankful for his contributions. And he told Dana Boyle as well how purposeful being part of that program is, and it's an amazing thing for those people playing hockey, the game they love, to have a role model like Chris Kreider.
Invaluable.
Yeah, and I love watching those guys too play. It's a lot of fun. They play with huge smiles on their face.
So is Gray a big Rangers fan?
Of course.
Better be.
Question. What do you think, he's going to root for the Islanders or the Bruins?
So after the Jim Stagnita timeout, you kill 7 seconds on the power play, and then you'll have even strength for 44 seconds. Maryland has struggled in this second quarter. Just 3 shots RB, 4 turnovers.
Yikes.
How do you break out of the slump?
Well, you got to find the matchups, your favorable matchups. They really haven't got the Dordovic too much. You know, Malone, I haven't seen him getting too many two-man games. We're seeing one here. And it just seems like a part of the physicality of Carolina has taken Maryland out of rhythm.
Dordovic from deep. Reardon makes another stop. That's 11 saves in this first half, but they turn it right over.
Yeah, and having Reardon in cage doesn't really help Maryland.
He's so good low. Like it's almost impossible to score on him low.
Malone trying to shake free. Sends it behind. Great passing. Finally, Zed Williams breaks through. Reardon's been a brick wall, but Williams has 2 of Maryland's 3 goals in this first half.
You got to move them, right? If you want to beat them, you got to move them.
It's beautiful ball movement. You're going to see Malone go underneath. Right here, freeze it right here. You're going to get this help. You're going to get this double team right here. So you just move the ball forward, you push this backside, and you're going to get another double team right here. And Zed Williams is just hanging out right by himself, right on the crease as that slide occurs. There's the second slide. Nobody helps on Williams.
Yeah, and watch how you're forcing Blaze to spin around and locate the shot. On the prior one, when I'm saying it's impossible to score on him low, when it's out in front, you shoot at his feet, and he has a clean look, and he's not moving, it's 2 for a buck. We're clearing it, we're going the other way. Yep. When you spin the ball, the best way to beat an incredible goalie is ball movement, because then you take him off his pipe, and you change the way that he's approaching a shot.
First face-off win of the night. Inches away from scoring. They say Krebs kept it from crossing the line. The full ball has to go across. So Maryland wins the first 9 face-offs. Carolina finally gets one, and they can't capitalize. Wheaton Jacobois cashes in, and just like that, it's a 1-goal game.
I mean, here's the crazy thing, Kirk. Maryland, I don't know if you could play any worse. I mean, they have not played a good first half.
And it's a 1-goal game.
And it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah, I don't like this defense by Chaos in transition, too. I thought it was too soft in terms of being disruptive. Krebs makes the save, inches away from crossing the goal line. So close. Let's look at this goalie cam here. I mean, that is as close as it gets, right? He makes the save. It goes the other way, but, like, where's the help there? You flush him down the alley, and there's no one supporting that.
Yeah, I mean, Geddes is outside the play. There's a free double team. You could see Newman was kind of the next guy going extended. I think he expected the crease to help or the adjacent
it looked like
to help.
Breakdown communication-wise.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Whips went 18 minutes scoring 1 goal. Now they get 2 in 32 seconds.
Welcome to the PLL.
I liked what you said, Ryan. They've played just about as terribly as they've played all season, and yet you're only down 1. Well, make it 2. A flamethrower on the run. Braden Maia.
This guy's got some game. I've watched him in college. He plays for John Torpy down at High Point, who's now the coach at Brown. He is as slick as it comes, man. His hands are gold.
Beautiful sweep across the middle of the field. Good things happen when you get to the middle of the field because you got the full 6x6 to shoot at. And in training camp, I mean, all the Chaos defenders that I talked to were raving about this kid.
Because he's so unpredictable. He's like a street baller. When you watch his moves and all the things that he does, he could throw a ridiculous behind the back pass. He's got the underneath toe drags. And when you watch him play, this season he's been so close. Like in Minneapolis when I did the Chaos game, he didn't score, but you knew how close he was from being a super disruptive player.
First career goal for Maia. Chaos up 2. Whipsnakes trying to battle back.
They got a moving pick on that initial dodge by Malone.
You know, to Ryan's point too, Maryland's been quiet and they're only down 2. We haven't really heard from TJ Malone, Mike Chanichuk. Those are guys that usually are at the front line of their production.
1 minute left in this first half. Hanningberg, 2 goals to his name today. Taking a lot of time on this possession. Finally passes it off. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They had the cutter. Dobson, 5 seconds to shoot. Regathers, Byrne whizzes it wide, and now the Whips with 27 seconds to try and pull another back before halftime.
Plenty of time here.
I was talking Malone and Chanichuk, 0 for 5 combined shooting. TJ 0 for 3, Chanichuk 0 for 2.
It just feels like the bulk of this first half, Maryland has not been super organized offensively.
Anderson's been quiet too, has it here. And another errant pass.
And I think you gotta give Carolina some credit. The physicality, I think, kind of disrupted their timing.
Almost took a deflection in. So a very physical, chippy first half. Sees Carolina with a 2-point advantage headed into halftime.
I'd keep feeding him the rock. He's 2 for 3. The rest of the entire team is 2 for 18.
Well, the good news for Maryland is you have Nardella at the stripe. He picks up where he left off. 11 of 13 faceoffs he has won tonight. So you know you're going to get opportunities and possessions coming off the faceoff. Now, how do you cash in if you're not named Zed Williams? Patra sends that wide.
Well, I'd keep Nardella on a few of these, and I'd let him go at Rowlett.
Yeah, Nardella can score and create.
And then I would throw. I would also start thinking about putting a two-way guy back on defense, so that after you win it, your pole can just step over and you can run that two-way guy on offense.
Well, you've been saying that since the 2-minute power play.
Well, worst case scenario, Chaos wins it. Rowlett's probably running off. You run Nardella off, and then you can get your fourth pole that way. But that's much easier to say from here.
Right.
Yeah,
than to
that
make
two-way guy would be Jacoboys.
Well, I want to go, yeah, well, I'm just saying you could be Jacoboys, could be Patras.
Josh Byrne had plenty of touches in that first half, but no points.
Yeah, he led the team with 28 touches, 0 for 5 shooting.
And yet, Carolina leads by 2. Yeah, the Rutgers boys have stepped up. Ross Scott, Jules Henningberg, Shane Knobloch all with a goal.
Good job by Minikis tiptoeing around the crease there.
Here's Ross Scott off the restart. Trying to shake free. To no avail there, Byrne. Both teams still trying to find their footing offensively at the start of this third quarter. You mentioned Minikis, Boyle. He had a breakout game last year, career high 5 points. Really yet to get involved in the Chaos offense so far tonight. Both of these teams looking for that complementary supporting cast to step up. Zed double teamed, passes out of it. Keegan Kahn took a big hit.
I tell you,
yeah, he got hammered.
If you're trying to take a shot on the crease against the Chaos, you're going to end up on the turf.
Yeah, they look mad from the go, right? We saw Rowlett early stages of the first quarter. That was a big hit by Costabile.
And that's really more mental than anything else. I mean, there's obviously the physical part of it, but they just want to do that and then just say, okay, just know if you do that, it's coming.
We're going to hit you hard inside, shoot from the outside. We have big Blaze.
And they want you second guessing yourself on whether you want to go in there. They're basically like, do you want to make a business decision?
It's like a car accident.
Jan and Chuck been quiet. Dordovic got the scoring started, but haven't seen much from him either. Levi Anderson tangled up.
They're offside.
Yeah, they need to time that better, right? Ajax can't jump over that line until he sees Anderson.
Yeah, it wasn't an over and back because there was a deflection. It hit a Chaos player or a stick.
Geddes! How about Zach Geddes getting on the score sheet at 86 miles per hour, and the Chaos leads 7-4.
They need some of that two-way midfield play, right? To loosen up the attack, give them some scoring opportunities in non-typical spots. Zach Geddes is one of the fastest players in the PLL. He just races down there. Krebs has a stick on that, and that's kind of the difference between Blaze Reardon on those shots. Is a little quicker to get to it with a clean save.
Good things happen when you put it on net. Geddes has got a couple goals already this season.
Costabile did well to dispossess that after Nardella won the initial clamp.
I'd love to see Geddes get more defense to offense. Catch it
like a punt return.
Yeah, catch it low. Get it. Beautiful feed there.
Right on the money. Byrne to McKay. And it's 2 short stick defensive midfielders scoring in a row for Carolina.
Yeah, he's passing the ball exceptionally well. It's 10 assists this season now, second most in his career.
Yeah, this is a beautiful setup, little 2-man game with Byrne and McKay. Puglisi's gonna get caught cheating. Freeze it right here. Puglisi's outside. He's outside the play. And once he sees that, then McKay just drifts towards the middle, and that's a spot feed. So Byrne is just floating that into space, allowing McKay to run under it. Beautiful identification there by Byrne, catching Puglisi on the outside shoulder of McKay.
Absolutely, and Puglisi's thinking that McKay is actually going to set the pick. He's anticipating the pick, and he's slipping.
Bingo.
Nardella loses his stick. So even though he's winning the faceoff, the Chaos have done a really nice job containing not just him, but the wing play as well.
But props to Josh Byrne for his passing this season. I mentioned that's his 10th assist. Only one time in his PLL career has he had more assists. That was in 2021. He's passing the ball at an all-time level in terms of his game.
Here's Ross Scott. Double teamed, dispossessed. Chaos somehow win it back. Krebs was out of his cage. Henningberg couldn't get his hands free. Ross Scott will try and settle things down for Chaos.
Sloppy turnover there. But I love the aggressive double team by Whipsnakes on that two-man game. They double Ross Scott and they rolled a third defender behind the cage to take away his only outlet.
Now the Whipsnakes are desperate for something to jumpstart this third quarter. Chaos have scored 3 in a row. Through a ton of contact, Zed Williams! What a goal! A hat trick for Zed.
I love Jack Rowlett, Kark. I love Jack Rowlett.
That's 6'3", 235.
That's a tough matchup. That's a big, bad man.
I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you, and that goes for almost every defender in the league, not just Jack Rowlett. Pure force, pure skill, pure sweetness.
Manage these rosters, they have to make some tough decisions heading into the year and then as the season has progressed.
Well, the influx of this young talent forces you to do that. Like you have no choice.
Yeah.
There's just too many good players coming in the league.
The other thing is you look at them based off their success they were having is like in previous drafts, they weren't drafted at the top of the leader, the board, right?
Yeah, and you look at the Atlas, for example, where they just cleaned up with first-round picks. Think about the last couple years. Yeah. Makar, Adler, Schellenberger, Entenmann.
Teat.
Yeah. Who's he?
We get to see him likely break the points record tomorrow. That'll be awesome on ABC. Atlas and Cannons, the two top teams according to the standings. And you think about the standings and the implications for this game. Both teams 2 and 3. The loser of this game, you have to wonder, are they even going to make the playoffs? Hiddekus the blow by, everything but the finish. Ross Scott has the backup.
I thought he had an angle to aggressively go in front of the cage and crease dive there.
Trying to feed it into Henningberg. Well defended. Struggling on the clear though. Running out of trouble. Zappatello.
Good decision there by Zappatello to just roll back, use your
Player.
goalie.
He's defending Ross Scott, two guys that both graduated out of the Big Ten. Zappatello, Maryland, Scott, Rutgers, both from Oregon, played against each other in high school and college. That was the assignment. So these guys have years experience against each other.
Zed working on Rowlett. Passes it off. Williams has 3 of Maryland's 5 tonight. Really been their lone source of offense. TJ Malone has it here, been quiet. Shot clock down to 1. Another turnover by Whips. Costabile sends that wide.
I don't mind that shot. You have the backup. It allows you to sub.
Bingo.
It's a good shot.
The early 2 in a possession gives you so much more time from a substitution perspective.
Lets you get whole.
3:30 to go in this third quarter.
We used to see Michael Earhart do that all the time for the Whipsnakes.
Miss him this year.
Oh, man.
Burn. They're trying to muscle his way free. One hand low, net by Krebs.
That didn't come out right.
Krebs might want to check his stick and his shooting strengths.
Jim Stagnita
ball,
desperate
Roman, please. Thank you.
for some offense. You
think he
hear him
wants
there
his
on the
short stick
sideline.
D-Mitty to give the ball up?
Heacock whizzes that wide on the run.
Razor! 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 Levi! Jesus Christ!
Finally, the Whips break through.
Well, he definitely didn't do what they wanted him to do.
But he did.
So he's like, do I keep yelling at him or do I applaud him for nice goal?
I think he wanted him involved in the pick game, right?
Yes, he's yelling razor, razor, which is usually a pick along goal line extended. It all works out. Somehow he gets the rock on that left wing a couple hitches to increase his shooting angle. But that was all set up by the Malone dodge. He draws the double team. He whips the ball back to X and they attack the backside. That's the second time I can think of unofficially with Malone with the quote-unquote hockey assist, where he's drawn the double, got the offense rolling, makes the easy pass, the single, if you're a Whips fan.
Why set the pick on goal line extended when you could be above goal line extended and score?
Well, the pick at goal line extended, which we'll see right here, allows that defender to get hung if he goes through it.
I'm being a wise guy with Anderson, not being involved in the pick because he wants to shoot and score.
Hanningberg curls around.
Wow.
And Chaos win the run out. The shot clock winding down. Maryland's defense will hold here.
Seen tonight in the first game with the Water Dogs, and then this game, we've seen a lot of shot clock violations, right? Like teams taking a little bit too long to get that offense going. I mean, the Water Dogs, how many times do we see possessions with Sowers having to dump it on the end line?
Yeah.
Dunn powering through. Still with it here, loses control, and that's a turnover.
Credit Troy Ray, though. He was all over Dunn. And Matt Dunn has had a real good year offensively. Leads the PLL defenders in points.
13 turnovers in these first 3 quarters for Maryland. And yet only down 2. They'd like to keep it that way here. Maybe even get one.
Look at Bernhardt.
Bernhardt with room. Blaze to the rescue. That time they get it by Reardon. Never gave up on the play. Roman Puglisi storming through to make it a 1-goal game.
Credit Puglisi as a short stick D-Mitty following the madness. Right, this is what he does, because on the first attempt, Blaze makes a great save, and look at Puglisi. Rather than running to the box, he sees that seam and knows if he cuts, he's going to get the rock.
And this is one of those classic, no, 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 yes! I mean, you've got offensive players flanking all of the wings, guys demanding the ball, stick up, calling for it, and Puglisi just comes flying down through the crease.
But that chaos created that, right? Like the good save by Blaze and just the unsettled situation. That's a player, and Roman Puglisi knows it's not my time to run off right now. That's after Staggs was giving it to him, right? Like, Roman, move the ball, you heard him.
So you're telling Staggs he needs to yell at his players even more?
Well, the razor pick didn't work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the razor pick. Roman moved the ball, get off. The last 2 goals.
Still time here for Chaos. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Byrne. He tries an air gate. Unsuccessfully.
We saw one in game 1 by Zach Currier, and Josh Byrne was actually one of those players. I was talking about the players in pro lacrosse who's hit the air gate. Mikey Powell, Chaz Woodson. Josh Byrne has hit one as a pro lacrosse player. Zach Currier hit one tonight. We have an incredible game in Fairfield. The crowd showed up. The short stick D middies like Zach Geddes, the rookies and Braden Maia. It has been an awesome display of some offensive fireworks. We've got a good one.
Start the fourth quarter, Byrne talking to Ian McKay saying, look out for the slip in the 2-man game, and we saw them do it for a goal.
You know, you hear so much about defensive communication, right? In every practice, and offense has to communicate too, and you have to communicate out on the field when you're getting organized and structured, but then you also got to talk off out of timeouts about what you're seeing.
Start of the fourth quarter, almost a scoop and score from Nick Growlett.
Well, those are 2 players that played together for so long, indoor, outdoor. They just have that sixth sense. And, you know, a lot of times defensively, teams are so concerned with the pick game that, like, there's opportunities for the slip there. If it's timed right, if you're using the right body language, if you're selling a pick to open a slip.
TJ Malone been very quiet tonight. The rookie starts the fourth quarter and ties it at 8. There he is, the team leader in goals and points. A big goal at the start of this fourth quarter.
I couldn't be more impressed with Malone through the first half of the season and change. His ability to dodge from all over the field. Right hand, left hand, finish inside with range.
He's a lefty, and this is a righty rip. And credit here, Ryan, because Jared Newman defends lefties as well as anyone. If you watch him in the years of guarding Matt Rambo, he's awesome against lefties. He's jamming Malone with the left. Malone is so two-handed, he's like, I'm not going anywhere lefty on this guy. He goes back to his weak hand, which looks pretty strong.
A 4-0 Maryland run. They were down 8-4, now tied at 8 at the start of the fourth quarter. Buckle up. This is going to be a great finish in Fairfield. We are tied for the first time since this was 2-2. Chaos have not scored since that Ian McKay goal at the 7:45 mark in the third quarter. Ross Scott sends it back behind the cage. Hanningberg reverses field. 8 seconds to shoot. Byrne, no angle, gets it to go! Josh Byrne fires Carolina back in front.
You could see this play develop as Dobson was dodging. Puglisi ended up on Byrne on that left wing, and Byrne was just calling for the ball. Swing it, swing it, swing it. Because he knew he had a favorable matchup. And what I love is he doesn't wait. He doesn't wait, Carc. He doesn't take and say, hey, everybody, I have a short stick. Do you want to get organized and prepare a slide? No, he gets it and just goes right to the rack.
I'm surprised Tim Muller doesn't support this matchup more, too. He's got the shorty in Puglisi. Muller is kind of showing but doesn't go the entire way. I thought Henningberg did a nice job from behind, kind of drifting to make space for Byrne, but you got to support a short stick matchup when Josh Byrne, one of the slickest guys with a lacrosse stick in the world.
It was also such a severe angle. I think Muller was just kind of like, there's no way.
When Josh Byrne has the ball, there's always a way.
Now that was his 37th touch of the night. This offense working through 22 in white. Whips kept it alive, but couldn't get a good look there.
Missed opportunity. I mean, Nardella's right on the doorstep. I think Williams take a little something off that pass. Throw it with some catchable pace.
Hanningberg, 2 goals tonight. Deflected pass into the stick of Krebs. Quick clear. Maryland in transition. Bernhardt tees it up. High heat, no good. Dordovic got a good look, just couldn't finish it.
And that's where you see the rust of it being his first game back.
Yeah, it's those live situations with a step down, right? You can have those step downs in practice and when you're getting ready to play for weeks. But until you see the live bullets, right, it's different.
Malone working against a shorty.
Where's the backup?
Ryan, do you remember I told you?
Oh, they're going to keep it with Maryland here.
Wow.
At the beginning of the game, I said, watch all the different places where Malone dodges from. I mean, he came from that high wing lefty. This time he's going from behind the goal righty. He dodges from everywhere.
That was behind Heacock. Malone tried to keep it alive. Yeah, the passing has just been a bit mistimed for Maryland all night long. They really never have found a rhythm, and yet they're only down by 1 here in the 4th quarter.
Rasheed Wallace, ball don't lie scenario there.
Gaddis, a dangerous threat in attack, but gives it up that time. Everything going through Byrne right now, and why not? At times it's like he's got a magic stick. Just trying to get that separation, couldn't find it.
Got away with a Ward.
Couldn't get the hands free. Curling around, diving. McKay trying to do a little too much there. Turnover. Maryland trying to give it right back.
Something's up with Krebs' stick.
Yes, I think there's something with the shooting string. I mean, he's throwing the ball like a goalie who's been given a stick for the first time in his career, right? This is not normal.
3 times tonight, too, where he's just bounced it.
He doesn't look overly concerned about it. A lot of times when you throw a pass like that, am I missing something? Is there a hole in my stick? Is my shooting string too tight? Did it go undone? Because I haven't seen him throw the ball like that. Normally he throws a nice crisp pass.
Keegan Kahn curling around. No finish. Don't know if Reardon or the pipe got in front of that one, but they give Blaze the save. 14 on the night. Carolina looking for some cushion on a 1-goal lead. That's not going to work. Easy save for Krebs and a good outlet right to Zappatello. Ajax Zappatello goes low. Reardon to the rescue.
Reverse transition.
Byrne.
Oh, he was thinking a shot before he caught.
He's still got Newman.
Fastest shot. Saved by Krebs.
How about these goalies on this back and forth action?
This is fun.
A week ago in the All-Star game, Newman won fastest shot. So that was definitely 100+ flying at Krebs.
Note to Ajax Zappatello, though, don't shoot at Blaze Reardon's feet. It won't go. Big Blaze, he's feeling it, Jay.
He is. 15 saves on the night. His Chaos leading by 1. His Carolina Chaos team clinging to a 1-goal lead. 6:33 to go. Maryland, TJ Malone, their rookie from Penn State, who's been terrific this season, leads the team in points. Has it here, 7 in yellow. Quick to give it up.
Whips executed. Chaos just sniffed it out. Troy Ray got out on Chanachuk. That's what they were trying to set up with that right wing.
Anderson on the run. Reardon makes his 16th save of the night.
I love how Blaze has the confidence he's going.
Everything working through Byrne.
I love like the confidence. Like sometimes Blaze makes a save, and the body language is like, did you really think that was going to go?
Krebs has been answering 13 saves for Brendan Krebs.
You know, we're giving Blaze so many different accolades and props in this game, but Krebs has put together a really strong outing.
Yeah, it's just been an errant outlet pass here and there.
His saving, I mean, maybe he let up one questionable goal.
Yeah.
Maybe the knob block one. Outside of that, he's been on.
Good jump there by Zappatello in transition. Kind of caught Scott off guard.
Maryland has scored 4 of the last 5 goals in this game. Carolina led 8-4. The Whips have battled back. Can they tie it at 9? Malone couldn't squeeze it by. Blaze Reardon, the brick wall.
What an eraser. The way that he makes the saves, and his technique is not fundamental. Like, right, chicken wing saves, he puts his knees together and
butterfly
flaps.
style.
Yeah, it's nuts.
17 saves, the most for Blaze Reardon since last season when he got 17 against the Whipsnakes. Here's Jules Hanningberg, 2 goals to his name tonight. Carolina would love a little more cushion, just a 1-goal lead. Scott trying to shake free, gives it up.
Oh, that was a good pass.
Dobson wasn't ready for it.
He wasn't. Jules Henningberg threw a sick pass.
Heads up.
That's the biggest adjustment for some of these players coming from college to pro. It's how there's deception involved in these passes, right? I mean, there's different players throughout your career where they can make those types of passes. I remember playing with Casey Powell at Syracuse. Like, if you weren't ready for his pass, you're getting hit in the head. You have to be ready when you're playing with guys like Jules Henningberg and some of these passers.
Would you call timeout here if you're Whips?
You only have 1 left. Anderson!
No, don't call
muscling
it.
And we are tied at 9.
That's no Razor Levi.
Yeah, I think with just 1 in your back pocket, you hold on to it. I should have checked that. But here's Anderson, strong lefty dodger. Goes all the way around. Geddes goes in front of the crease, just allowing him to hang out, but Anderson just continues, just runs through that hold by Geddes. He's just too big, too strong.
His wingspan's ridiculous. Like, he's so long. You watch Levi Anderson in college at St. Joe's. I mean, there were games where he would fill it up, 6, 7 goals. I remember in the conference championship against Richmond, he took that game over with 7 goals. Levi Anderson is 6'4", 215, but he's a long 6'4". Like, that's where length comes into play, Ryan, when you could shoot around a guy like that.
A late round draft pick by the Redwoods, really Nat St. Laurent's specialty. He finds just gems late in the draft. Wasn't playing for Redwoods.
He actually was,
pick up for him, and now he is a critical
he
part
was
of their
actually
offense.
a chaos draft pick a year ago. Decided to go back to college. Right, gets drafted by the Redwoods this year, then in a trade.
Under 3 minutes to go. Maryland has not led since it was 1-0. They've grinded their way back into this game. Trailed 8-4. Now looking for the lead. Shannon Chuck, he beat the buzzer but couldn't find the back of the net. Carolina ball, 2:37 to play.
And with 2 timeouts, I would anticipate Carolina calling their first of 2 after they clear the ball.
Carolina has gone 8 minutes and 25 seconds without a goal. And there comes the timeout.
I mean, the flip side, if they're Whipsnakes, like, you got that much more room to make up, staring up at Atlas and Cannons respectively.
But they get it to Byrne, just like Andy Towers drew up. The rookie from Rutgers, Knobloch. 15 seconds to shoot. Quick passing, finds Byrne, trying to spin free. On the run, misfires.
Tim Muller blew that entire play up. Tim Muller blew that up. So he started pressing out on Jules. He anticipated what they wanted to do, where they wanted to go. He pressed out, eliminated that outlet, and Chaos didn't really have a plan B.
You're right, because I think the plan A for Chaos was to get Jules and Byrne involved in a pick game, right? And he denied it, so there was no access for that pick.
And Maryland electing not to use their final timeout. A little more than a minute left in regulation, tied at 9. Whips have not led since it was 1-0. Trying to steal this one in Fairfield. After they trailed 8-4, Rowlett had it, falls the blaze. And here comes Chaos. Ian McKay with room. Passes it off. Contact. It'll stay with Carolina.
They got lucky there because that was a tight pass.
And Andy Towers uses his final timeout.
Fully involved in this play.
Let's see if they press out to him when he's adjacent, though, and if they deny him the ball.
It starts with Henningberg. Goes to goal.
That's a quick shot. That's a quick shot.
And you heard Andy Towers say, make sure we get the last shot. The last thing you want to do is give the ball back to Maryland. Knobloch, the rookie from Rutgers.
Split dodge here.
20 seconds left. Knobloch. Feeds it back. Dobson with 10 seconds to shoot.
You gotta go, you gotta go.
Henningberg has to hurry. Jules Henningberg dispossessed. Maryland has time, but they give it away, and we are headed to overtime.
Oh boy.
Between Maryland and Carolina.
One team has Joe Nardella, the other doesn't. With what you were saying, with McKay, who's exceptional two-way, and then Troy Ray is one of the
I'm surprised Ray in his positioning here.
The Whips have it. And no timeouts for either team in overtime. Maryland, their last lead was 1-0. Chanenchuk on the run, puts that wide.
Maryland's had an overtime win this season against Philly.
I'm surprised Anderson's not out there.
Zed Williams just trying to bulldoze his way in. Shot clock.
That was good defense.
So good defensive hold by Carolina. They have not scored in 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Can they get a goal in overtime to win this?
McKay's got
McKay, yeah, there's gonna be some pick action here.
Byrne trying to get the hands free. Tried to feed McKay, but it's low. Here come the Whips with numbers. Tucker Dornovic, the reigning Rookie of the Year in his season debut.
This is a long shift for Dornovic. He went from offense to defense.
Here's TJ Malone, the rookie sensation. He's got the Chaos hung up. Malone trying to end it, finds Chanenchuk. Blaze Reardon, 18th save of the night, and that's the biggest of the bunch.
He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. The ultimate equalizer.
What do you do here if you're Chaos, Paul?
from Chaos. I think that pick action off the left wing with Byrne works. I think you got to give it to Josh Byrne. Maybe not. Maybe
the
not.
rookie from Rutgers wins it in overtime. Finish the night with an overtime thriller. The Chaos taking over the Whips, 10-9 in overtime for Ryan Boyle, Paul Carcaterra, Dana Boyle, and our entire crew. I'm Jay Alter. Thank you for watching the PLL on ESPN.